Hey, it's the crazy lady from the beginning. Remember her?
Yes, I do.
I knew you remembered. I meant to the audience.
Excuse me?
Those watching along with us. Follow along silently as I read aloud. I used to hate it when people said that to me. I don't know why. Like, why do I have to follow along silently?
Yeah.
I can't mumble to myself?
Oh, okay, so...
Go ahead.
Human Centipede 3, from what I read, sounds just retarded.
Yeah, I believe that.
And I understand what the first two were.
Yeah.
And like they were just terrible, like with the just how I mean it's a movie called Goddamn Human Centipede.
I think the first one is supposed to be like a culty film.
Yeah, the
and
first
I feel
one
like
was.
I feel like the second one's supposed to be more of like a
It could happen to you.
like a guts and gore kind of movie.
Yeah.
Let me guess.
So the third one, like I said, the first one was a movie. Second one is like real life,
Right.
where a guy is obsessed with the first movie.
Right.
The third one takes place in a prison, and this is the weird thing. It takes place in a prison, and again, I didn't see it. I only read some stuff about it, so people on the internet, if you're watching this, don't get mad at me. This is just what I've read and what I remember, what I'm piecing together. If you're really going to defend Human Centipede 3, fuck you, you're retarded. I'm kidding. Maybe.
Not really.
Not really. Who knows? Everything I say is a lie, except that, and that, and that, and that. So, Human Centipede 3 takes place in a prison, and the really weird thing about it is that I don't think it's the warden or someone else that works in the prison.
Of course. Yeah.
What?
I was gonna say, of course, that's who it would be.
Sent me to cut the power.
Oh no, go ahead, finish. I thought maybe I jumped the gun.
Yeah, I was like, what are you saying over there? I didn't think I said anything yet, but I can't remember if it's the warden or it's someone that works in the prison.
Living this insanity for decades.
But whatever. Whoever it is, that person is the main character from Human Centipede 2, but he's playing a different character. But it's just weird seeing him in this because it's like he was in that movie. It's like they're reusing actors, but they're just playing someone different, which is really weird. So like, the plot of the movie is that the prison is overcrowded, and they're all unruly. Like all the prisoners are like they don't listen.
Right.
They're just super violent. They just do whatever the fuck they want. It's like super jail.
Right.
They don't fucking care. The prisoners are just running the prison.
Right.
And so like the warden or whoever gets an idea that he heard about a scientist that has weird medical torture theories that they could bring in to maybe straighten out the prisoners.
Uh-huh.
Guess who the scientist is? The guy from the first movie, but he's playing a different scientist. He's a completely different scientist, you guys.
And you're dead.
So
sorry.
They hire him. Yeah. This storyline so far is making you want to kill yourself, I know. So they bring in this scientist to like do like weird shit to the prisoners.
Weird butt stuff.
Yeah, weird butt stuff to them to like straighten them out, so they'll fucking follow they'll follow the rules and all that.
Right.
And so they decide to make the biggest...
Wow, that was fucking easy.
I know, right? They decide to make the longest human centipede ever. Which is grouped with all the prisoners.
Every single prisoner?
Every single prisoner is in this human centipede. And it's like the longest like human centipede ever conceived. And that's what the movie is about. But
you know what the longest human centipede ever conceived is? 3, because it's not a real thing that ever happened.
I know, right? I know. I fucking know, right? So that's the thing. And very, very true.
Jesus Christ!
God damn it.
Very much like Beetlejuice, the human centipede doesn't show up for like probably the last like half hour of the movie.
Oh, Jesus.
So, but like,
why even care anymore?
What's that?
Like, why even care anymore? Like, why even try?
To be edgy, just to be edgy. Because you haven't heard, like, the whole thing that I haven't even fucking said yet about this fucking movie. So, it's like the warden's girlfriend or the warden's wife is Brie Olson. Because why not?
Oh my god.
And, like, anytime... Like, she's either, like, the wife or girlfriend, or she works in the prison as well. But, like, anytime she would talk or, like, open up her mouth, the ward would just beat the shit out of her. So, like, through, like, most of the movie, she's just, like, beat up.
What the
For no fucking reason.
God damn it.
And also, there's a dream sequence in the movie.
No!
'Cause fuck you.
God damn it.
Because fuck you, there's a
Like,
dream
if
sequence.
it wasn't bad enough already, you're really gonna put a fucking dream sequence in there?
There's a dream sequence in the movie, which I watched in, like, in WebM form, which I turned off halfway because I heard what happens in the WebM, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch it anyway. And I'm like, nope, not even gonna watch the end of this. There's a dream sequence where the warden is like he's like thinking about how like violent and unruly the prisoners are. There's a part in the movie where he has like a dream or something, and it's a part where he's in the prison like walking around. And one of the prisoners, like a couple of the prisoners jump him. They beat him up, grab a shank, stab him in the side, like in his like kidney or his side or whatever, whatever's on the side here that you would stab.
Right, like a liver maybe?
Yeah, like a liver, a gallbladder, I don't know.
You know.
They stab him right here. He's on the ground, like on his stomach, on the ground, just like bleeding out. The prisoner that stabs him takes his pants off and proceeds to rape his stab hole.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
Movies! So,
Jesus.
yeah, edgy, just to be edgy, and just to
Yep.
be 420, grimdark, I'm gonna smoke weed every day.
XX 420 Bong Ripper X.
Yeah, like, why? Why is that a thing? Like, I understand prison's pretty fucking harsh, but I don't think prisoners are gonna fucking rape a kidney hole that was just
Yeah.
freshly stabbed.
I mean,
I know they do some sick shit in prison.
There's a
but
whole,
Fucking kidney hole.
there's a whole genre of movies that's basically just like, look at all this body horror.
yeah.
Like every Saw movie. Every Saw movie is body horror.
Yeah, but
Not
the first,
to the,
like,
not the extent of every other one, but
yeah,
still.
I mean, like, the first couple Saw movies were good.
yeah. Here's the thing: they all have merits. Not, but by the end, it becomes less and less in each one.
He tried to bring back.
I like how they ended the Saw series.
I never.
They planned it
Here's the
since
thing.
like the first one, and I didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. I watched the third one because I thought the third one was the end, and I was fine with that ending.
Yeah.
Which looked
And I'm like, they're making a fourth one.
Yeah.
It practically ended on the third one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I guess I was wrong. I'm a fucking
Yeah, I've
idiot.
watched the first three too. That's all I've seen up to. Because the third one is the one with the shotgun neck collars, right?
I think.
Yeah,
he was so
I'm pretty
Yes.
sure.
The third one, it has
Because
a
the
lot
second
of...
one is House of Saw, which
Yeah,
honestly was
House of Saw.
which was probably honestly. I'm like, if you're gonna one up Saw, how else are you gonna do it? House of Saw. That's exactly it.
Saw 2 had the most fucked up, like one of the more fucked up things that, like, I was just like, no, I can't
When
deal
he
with this.
kicks her into the needles,
Yeah.
I almost threw up.
When she, like, holds her arm up and there's just all these needles.
Yeah, they're just like sticking out of her
Oh,
arm.
God.
Ah, she's
That-
freaking out.
That freaked me out. Like, I'm like, no.
Yep.
That creeped me out just as much as in Hostel when the guy gets his Achilles
Tendons cut. Dude, I seriously, I was watching that on Netflix, and I'm like,
Yeah.
just like in my room, just
I
like
was-
dry heaving.
Yeah, I was in the movie theater and I watched it. I was like, ah! Yeah!
both been touched by.
What's the? Oh, what is the one? Oh, the one that they I remember watching the special features for Saw 2, and the one they cut out of Saw 2, where I'm like, thank God they fucking cut this out. That because all of the ones in Saw 2 were supposed to be based on like the 7 deadly sins. There was one who was. It was some like hot chick, and she was based on like envy. So like, cause like everyone envied her, and hers was she was stuck in a chair, and she had to. There was basically like a hot iron that she had to push with her face to get out of the chair, or she was gonna die. So she basically has to burn her own face to get out of this thing. And I was just like, yep, thank God I didn't see that shit.
You know what would help her after that? if she entered some sort of John Woo movie where they did some sort of facial surgery.
Well-lit room. This is no time.
Like, I don't know, you would remove the face, and then it would come off, like some sort of face-off.
Super Cop?
Super Cop!
Well, be a fool.
Yeah.
Yes, like Super Cop.
Exactly like Super Cop. It's exactly what happens. What was that jump? Why?
He was doing Christ Air.
What?
He was playing Tony Hawk before he left. He was doing some sick Christ Air.
I don't know if I've ever
That
said
sick
this.
scooter game we watched a video of
Oh
earlier.
my god.
I don't know if I've ever
dumb
said this on the
scooter
video.
game.
I may have, but speaking of Christ Air, I used to make Jesus in Tony Hawk 2, and that was the only move I ever gave him was a Christ Air.
I remember the first character I made in Tony Hawk, because we didn't have a PS1, so I would always play it at my cousin's. So, like, I had a save file at somebody else's house, and, like, I finally made a guy, and I was like, what cool finishing move can I give him, because I didn't know what to call it.
The sack tap?
Sack tap is a good one. But I was asking my cousin, I'm like, what kind of, like, cool move should I give him? He's like, give him Christ Air. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. I'm a little Tom Jr.
I'm a little Tom Jr.
What's a Christ?
What's a Christ?
The two games I remember.
Speaking of Christ, hold on, I have to say this. I was at work today, and I had to go ask my my supervisors like something like a work question or whatever, and I had to go into his his little cubicle thing, and I'm standing there in his cubicle, and I'm like looking around, and he has like one or two like kids, they're like little kids or whatever,
Little babies.
So he has like on his wall, he has like a lot of like their artwork or whatever. And there was a piece of artwork on there, and I was looking at it, and I laughed in my head because I thought of the one episode of South Park with Moses. He's like,
Jesus.
I require macaroni pictures. Because that's all he had was macaroni pictures on his wall. And that's all I could think of.
macaroni pictures.
Moses, what do you require from us now? I require macaroni pictures.
Speaking of South Park, they announced a new South Park
The
game
fractured
recently.
butthole?
The fractured butthole.
Yeah.
I love
At the
it.
end, Butters is like it's available for pre-order now. Like, yeah, go ahead and pre-order it. And Carmen's like, shut up, Butters.
Yeah, it does look really good.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the Rare Replay collection and how I don't care?
You don't?
I have them all.
It's not enough to get you to buy an Xbox One.
No.
Tom,
hold on.
grab by the ghoulies.
Yeah, I don't care.
It's Snake, Rattle, and Roll,
Yeah, I don't
which
care.
is a really good game I used to play a lot on Nintendo.
But like all the ones that I would want to play, I have already.
Yeah.
The only one
And
I
you know
don't
why
have.
they're doing it is because Ukulele got funded like
Yeah.
$1 billion.
But like I have both Banjo-Kazooie. I have both Banjo-Kazooies. I have Conker's Bad Fur Day. I have all of the Battletoads games except for the NES one. Like I don't really need anything.
See, if I had
else.
an Xbox, I would get it because I don't have like any of those
Right.
games.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense for that.
Yeah.
But like
I know what you mean. That's exactly like why I'm not going to get the. Well, I say I'm not going to, but I probably will eventually. The Mega Man Legacy Collection.
Right.
Because it's Mega Man 1 through 6, and I'm like, I already have I have a superior collection of that, you guys.
I don't understand, like, and that's another thing I don't get, is, like, why wouldn't you put 7, 8, 9, and 10 on there? Like, okay, I can even understand not putting 9 and 10 on there.
Because it's not really, like, it wasn't, I mean, it was made by Capcom, but it was, like, Capcom and some other company that, you never know, they may not have the rights to, like, put it on that collection.
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, I'm saying I don't know if they do.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, because it's Capcom and Inishi Creates, or whatever it's called.
Okay.
So
Oh, well, see, that's why. Because guess who's putting out Mighty Number 9 and the Igarashi Kickstarter, Bloodstained.
What's that?
Inishi Creates.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
The flaming
well,
Yeah,
that
so I don't know.
explains a lot.
The $500,000 that they got for the Kickstarter that they initially wanted for the Kickstarter for Bloodstained was basically so Inishi Creates would feel comfortable doing it, and they got so much fucking money because they basically Inishi Creates was going to give them the money, but that was basically saying like that was like it's like Shenmue. They wanted the fans to prove that they wanted the game.
Right,
So-
to prove to investors that it was something that people wanted.
Yeah, so I didn't. I mean,
And now Bloodstained is the highest
Kickstarter.
funded video game Kickstarter ever, and it's in the top 10s of highest funded Kickstarters of all time.
I mean, I didn't know that. I mean, that's probably a possibility on why 9 and 10 wouldn't be on it.
Yeah, that would absolutely be why.
Okay, so I didn't know, but that doesn't explain why 7 and 8 aren't on it. You know,
You mean?
I could wait. Yeah, 7 and 8 because it's 1 through 6.
Oh, I thought you were talking about 7 and. I thought you were talking about 7 and 8 being part of those. Yeah, I don't know why 7 and 8 wouldn't be on there. I can understand why
Maybe- Uh,
9 and 10 then would be. Right?
Maybe 7.
Is that what
and,
we're talking about?
Maybe 7 and 8 because
Because
they're not.
Super Nintendo is hard.
Maybe because Super Nintendo and like Sega Saturn or PlayStation 1. Maybe they wanted it to be like just 2D graphics, like 8-bit graphics.
Right.
Maybe that's why.
Did you see that?
That doesn't
Plus-
make any sense. But
Plus,
still.
plus, it's probably also a lot easier to emulate 8-bit games than it is
Maybe.
to try
Sure.
and redo.
Because Capcom doesn't want to have to work to make money.
No.
Street Fighter V, you guys.
Oh, by the way, apparently, if you want Devil May Cry 5 to be a thing, the Capcom basically said if the special edition of Devil May Cry 4 does not sell enough copies, that they're not going to make Devil May Cry 5.
Okay.
Wait, Devil May Cry Special Edition?
Yeah, the special edition
Oh, I'm
Devil May
buying
Cry
Special
4.
Edition.
Well, I'm going to buy it because I want a Devil May Cry 5.
I want to buy it.
Wait,
I wanna
is
buy
a special edition of Devil May Cry 4?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where you can
Oh,
play
fuck
as,
yeah.
Where you can play as Virgil.
Yeah,
You
fucking buy the shit out of
You
that.
can play as Virgil, you can play as Lady, you can play as Trish, and there's an ultimate version of Neo and
Nero.
or Nero and Dante.
Yeah, I'm definitely playing. I'm definitely
Fuck
buying
yeah!
it. Devil May Cry 4 was probably my favorite Devil May Cry.
It was a good fucking game.
Besides the first one, it's my favorite one.
I
Yeah,
never
I
played.
agree.
I never played up too far enough to get to the Dante parts, but the parts that I did play
You
were a
did,
lot of
though.
fucking fun.
You did though.
Yes.
You say you didn't play as Dante,
But you played as Dante.
but you did
Oh,
play
okay.
because Dante's parts are Nero's parts.
Yeah,
backwards.
yeah. I knew that. You know what? No, I played part of them because I think that game it like switches off or something like that.
Yeah, it's like halfway through the game you play as Dante.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did get up to the Dante parts. I don't remember,
But
I
it
know I
has, like,
played
the-
parts of it.
It has one of the worst levels though. I think it says Dante.
No, it doesn't have one of the worst levels because Devil May Cry 3 has one of the fucking hardest levels ever, which is the one where you're in that giant fucking whale thing. Because I've played Devil May Cry 3 so many fucking times and cannot beat that part.
No. Devil May Cry 3 doesn't have a level that will continuously loop because of random generated numbers.
Yep.
What?
There's a level later in the game. It's towards the end of the game where it's like a board game, and you have to roll a dice to advance in the level.
Oh, I remember.
So the dice just is random. So it can land on like say 5, and you'll move forward, and then you'll roll again. You'll move back, and then you have to do the same fucking thing over again. You can be constantly moving back and forth unless you hit the dice the right way, so you can advance.
Yep.
It's the worst
So
fucking
it's like
section of the game.
it's like the last level in the Gunstar Heroes.
I don't know. I never got to the last level.
Okay,
Yeah, I was gonna say I never.
So one
I'm
of
not that good at Gunstar Heroes to
So
say
one of the
anything
level,
about that.
one of the last level before the last level is because all the
So
bad
the
guys
second to
are.
last level?
Yes.
No, I'm just making sure we're talking about the right thing. I just want to make
Well,
sure.
you can pick the levels in any order, but it's basically the hardest of the regular levels, is what I mean.
Okay.
Hold the button down.
But basically, it's a guy called. They're all based on different colors, and black is like the last one. And he's like this nerdy looking guy. He basically looks like if Dr. Robotnik didn't have a mustache
Okay.
and he wasn't bald.
Okay.
But so his level is you do a short part and then it's basically a board game. And you have to hit a dice and then you go so many spaces
Okay.
and stuff like that. And like depending on what space you hit, there's like some of it's like, hey, like you can get weapons or you have to like fight a boss. And some of the fucking bosses in that part are like a huge pain in the ass. There's one that you have to fight without any guns, and it's a huge pain in the ass. Why is it not opening?
You have to hold it down.
Oh, wait. Shut the fuck up. Okay. Alright.
You're doing it. You're becoming Alan Wake. American
The
Nightmare.
quest for light.
Alan Wake. Oh,
Wait, what's going on?
spoopy.
What's happening out there?
You guys go ahead and find Weaver.
But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the Devil May Cry 4 remake, but
I love that game.
I mean, I understand where they're coming from, but like every game that Capcom has put out that wasn't Resident Evil, a Resident Evil Revelations game, was basically like, hey, we sold like 4 million copies, but guess what? It wasn't enough for us. So we're not going to make any more of these games.
I know you
and
had
that's
to-
literally like everything. That was like Resident Evil 6. Like, as much as people like shat on that
look
game,
at that one freaking out behind the fence. I know you were making fun of it earlier, but Street Fighter 5,
Yeah.
they did
It
announce.
does look really good.
They did announce one of my favorite characters from Alpha 3,
Birdie.
Birdie.
Tom didn't know who I meant when I said Birdie.
Because I haven't played very much Alpha 3.
Yeah.
But as soon as I saw him, I was like, wow, they made Birdie kind of dumpy.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was in some like random other Street Fighter games before that.
Right.
But
To be fair, everyone but Chung-Li looks kind of different.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like, Charlie looks a lot different. And by the way, I'm not calling him Nash.
No.
no,
He's Charlie.
I wouldn't either. That's what I'm excited for. Charlie and also Birdie, which makes me hope for more Alpha characters.
Yeah.
in this one.
Oh, I will bet that there will be a lot.
I guarantee you almost any of... I bet you almost all of the Alpha characters that weren't in...
if they don't add,
Super Street Fighter 4, like that weren't in Street Fighter 4 at all, are gonna be in Street Fighter 5.
like if Rainbow Mika isn't in it, I'll be really mad. She
If
hasn't been in-
Karen isn't in it, I'm
Well, I
gonna be
was just gonna
fucking
say,
pissed.
I was actually just gonna say that Rainbow
Karen
Mika
is my
or
favorite
Karen.
character from Alpha.
Can everybody pump the brakes for a second? And we need to talk about the most important character that needs to be in this game.
What's that?
Fucking Skullomania.
Ridiculously outnumbered.
Yeah,
The searchlight could have even.
that would be good. but-
Or fucking whatever French Dark Man.
Doctor in Dark.
Doctrine Dark, that's what his name was. Couldn't remember.
Dumbest shit.
All I could think about was oh shit.
Oh, you're running out of battery light bulb power.
The guy that runs the insane asylum in Beauty and the Beast is named Monsieur d'Arc. So that's all I can think about. Instead of things that are important.
Oh, jump cut.
F.
You will go no further.
Check minus. See me after class.
Also, this was
See me
obviously
after
we were
jump
talking about
scare.
this a long time ago. But the first time that I was visibly upset about a Tim Burton movie was in that guy's class. Because I don't particularly care for Tim Burton movies except for the two Batmans and Beetlejuice.
Hey, Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
I was never into Pee-wee enough for it to be a big deal to me.
Anyway,
But actually, we talked about David Lynch. Wow.
I didn't know. Okay.
you ate shit so bad.
I did.
We were talking about David Lynch a while ago on this playthrough.
Was that or was that for?
No, it was on here.
Okay.
But because we were talking about Twin Peaks
Oh, that's
and how he
right.
was up his own ass. But basically, that's my problem with Tim Burton, is that Tim Burton got so far up his own ass that like
Yeah.
everything has to look at my spooky trees. Oh wow. Anyway, so he in that class with the professor that would always give people Fs for jump cuts. He was like, okay, we're gonna watch a movie and then we'll critique it afterwards. And I'm like, all right, here we go. Like, what's it gonna be? Like, is it gonna be, Citizen Kane? Is it like, what's it gonna be? I'm really interested. And he's like, we're gonna watch, Sweeney Todd.
Oh.
He's like, we're gonna watch Sweeney Todd. And I'm like, can I sit this one out? And he's like, why? And I'm like, because I think fucking Tim Burton's a hack. And he's like, what makes you say that? And I'm like, well, he's so far up his own ass that he has to make everything look exactly like the one before it.
and
I was
also
like-
his wife is in every one of his movies practically.
Yeah, and I'm like, I just don't care for his style. And he's like, well, just because you don't care for his style, does that mean he's up his own ass? I'm like, yes. Yes, in the scenario in which I'm telling this, yes, he is up his own ass.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I disagree. I don't think I agree with you. Well, that's fine. I'm gonna sit here and sleep, though.
I mean, I like a good bit of his movies, but I can understand the hate that why people.
Whoa!
That
Air
was,
jumps.
That was a thing.
Once I finally got it, that was some fucking juke move shit.
Well, you jumped on the air, like you were walking on sunshine, and whoa, whoa, whoa! It feels good, and then you jumped in midair.
Like I like Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I like
Nightmare Before Christmas.
I like Nightmare Before Christmas, but
Beetlejuice, I think, is the one. Beetlejuice is the one where I'm like, okay, this gets a pass.
Beetlejuice is like, well, gets a pass for me. It's my favorite movie, but
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know.
Foolish chance to take.
Beetlejuice, the Batman movies.
Yeah.
I said Pee-wee. I unironically like Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, see that one. That's where.
That's where it really starts to fall off the map for us.
Yeah.
And I know what you mean, though. I know, because that movie does have problems. I like Edward Scissorhands in a way. I like, what was the other one that was like Nightmare Before Christmas? The Corpse Bride.
I didn't see that.
Here's the thing.
That one is good.
Here's my problem with Corpse Bride. Corpse Bride was the last Tim Burton movie I saw because I was in college and I was drunk and someone was like, "Hey, let's go see Corpse Bride." I'm like, "Okay, fine, whatever. I'll go see Corpse Bride."
It tried to be like Nightmare Before Christmas in a way.
It was
Because it's Tim
too
Burton.
much like Nightmare
Yeah.
Before Christmas. It was too much like Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
It was too much like Beetlejuice because it was like, "Hey, we're dead, but we're still in love with each other. Let's just be dead together."
Yeah.
Because 6 and
I'm not gonna.
3 and 1
Yeah.
need changing soon, and I don't want to climb up the ladder to change them because it's very late and I'm tired. And if you take it, I won't have to do that anymore.
The Very Bright Room.
The page was autobiographical, a memory from my childhood. But I didn't write this. It was a page written by Thomas Zane. None of them were supposed to exist anymore.
Alan, 7 years old, would fight sleep to the bitter end. When he did sleep, he soon woke up, screaming, the nightmares fresh in his mind. One evening, his mother, sitting by his bed, offered him an old light switch. She called it the clicker.
Fuck you.
Flicking the switch would turn on a magical light that would drive the beast away. To imbue the talisman with all possible power, she added that it had been given to her by Alan's father. Alan never knew him, and anything of his took on mythical proportions in his mind. With the clicker firmly in his hand, Alan finally slept like a baby. Now, almost 30 years later, Alan thought of this as he stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, the clicker in his hand. He took a deep breath and jumped.
My mind swirled. I'd given the clicker to Alice, yet it was here. Zane had written it into existence in a story I had written.
Now just think about that
I
sentence.
can finish this.
He had written it into existence in a story I had written.
So basically, he wrote Thomas Zane back to life in his own story to write a loophole in his own story. That then Thomas Zane wrote the loophole into Alan Wake's life.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Some weird shit.
It's super weird, but that's one of the reasons why this game is awesome.
And don't worry, any of this confusing shit kind of gets cleared up in the next chapter.
Yeah, it does.
We'll see you next time. Try not to one-up cup reference.